They're a non-factor. Y'all, they not basketball wives. Them chicks old as me. They some grandmas, man. Stop it. And ain't none of them married to nobody in basketball. Unless they talking about some dude hooping at the Y. So they basketball grannies. But anyway, enough with the jovial behavior. But seriously, man, what's up with that? How do you get him in? Now, another thing. I asked this question in the group on Facebook. If you had to rank the Hall of Famers, how would you rank them? Steve Young, Ray Allen, Grant Hill. Who else do that? And Jason Kidd. See, this is a more difficult question than most. For me than most. The reason it's so difficult for me, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd, and Grant Hill are three of my. When you talking about Brian's favorite, they're in my top 10. And when you get past the Doctor, who will always be my number one guy, and Isaiah Thomas is the number one guy that I grew up with, Grant Hill and Ray Allen are heads and tails on the same coin in regards to my favorite players after those two. Because, you know, when you young and you black, Dr. J was everybody's favorite player. When you young and black, Dr. J was everybody's favorite player. He probably if you're young and white, but you definitely, when you was black, Dr. J was my Michael Jordan. Then Michael Jordan was the dude I grew up with, and then Isaiah Thomas was there too. You know, he was my favorite. He was from Chicago. Both of us are West Siders, so there it is. But rank the Hall of Famers: Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, Grant Hill, Ray Allen. Not just in regards to how many championships they got, because that don't count. I'm talking about if you had the top 4 picks in any draft, and those were the guys on the board, who would you pick first? Who would you pick last? Now, if you in the chat room, you gonna see who I'm picking. Number 4. There you go. Number 3. Whoo, it's tough. Number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Number 2, and I'm doing this purely on ability. I'm not factoring in he got hurt last Tuesday and all this and all that. I'm just talking about the dudes who I would pick. Since you guys are not in the chat room, number 4 for me would be Steve Nash. Steve Nash was an explosive point guard that could hit shots from anywhere on the court. He made the game easier for his teammates. He was getting it in, putting in work, whatever accolades you want to throw on him. He was doing that. Mad love to Steve Nash. But he ain't played a lick of defense. That boy couldn't guard his lunch. Wasn't even trying to guard his lunch. But he couldn't guard his paper from the cheating kid in class. But Steve Nash is still, he would be the 4th. The next dude, I don't even know if I could call him my favorite, but he's definitely my favorite 2-guard ever, Walter Ray Allen. Ray Allen could take you off the dribble, slam on you, pull up from anywhere, mid-range, long distance, drive to the hole. He was the total package, and he could play some defense. Jason Kidd is my number 2. The number 2 dude in this because Jason Kidd waited till he had a couple knee injuries, got a whole lot older and then he started to evolve as a player. I personally have an issue with that. You know, even though he's 1A, my top 5 is all time is Isaiah Thomas, Ray Allen, Grant Hill, the Doctor, and Kareem. That's my top favorite players ever. You know what? The Doctor, power forward would probably be Derek Coleman, and Kareem would be my center. I didn't say these guys were the best. I said they were my personal favorites. And off the bench would be Ray Allen, Grant Hill, and Jason Kidd. We killing everybody. Say something, I'll step on. But anyway, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd, that's the only reason he in front of Grant Hill. And if it wasn't for the injuries, Grant Hill would, in essence, be the dude who I believe they'll be saying LeBron plays just like him. If you saw Jason Kidd, Grant Hill play in his prime, it was a treat, man. It was candy to a kid. It's a fat kid and some cake. It was me and some oatmeal raisin cookies and some ginger snaps. Shut up, man. Ginger snaps my favorite cookies. Yeah, it's still Head Start. Yes, Head Start. Ginger snaps and cranberry juice. I like that. I still like that to this day. If anybody want to send something to the show, send me some ginger snaps and some cranberry juice. Ocean spray. Craft. Nice and cheap. In a wine glass. Also. Ghetto fabulous. But anyway. Grant Hill is, outside of LeBron James and Michael Jordan, the best wings, one of the best wings I've ever seen. It would be Michael Jordan or LeBron, depending on what style you like. Then it would be Grant Hill. I understand there's a lot of Kobe-ites out there. No, Kobe, I don't like. I'm not a tremendous fan of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was an excellent ball player. He just wasn't my cup of tea. It does not mean you take anything away from him. It don't mean any of that. But trust and believe, Kobe Bryant is super dope. He just not for me. You can be dope and not be for me. It ain't too many out there, but I'm just not that guy. You know what I mean? It's just not me. It's cool. But who are yours? How do you rank them? If you're listening, can I get Kim and since y'all the only ones active, there's other people in here, but y'all not being active. And I'm calling Kim out because she a sissy and she be scared to talk. Now, and if you're listening, log into the chat room, talk a little crazy with your boy, because I don't want to hear your voice. But yeah, let me know who in your top 5, what's in your wallet. But yeah, but with that being said, I'm finna switch gears to college football. College football last week was awesome. As usual, college football was awesome. This week is a little less awesome. Oh, we have a little news. Serena Williams lost in the finals to Osaka. She's the first Japanese person to win a Grand Slam title. The very first. Looks like Serena was getting frustrated and things of that nature. She lost. We still gonna get a young lady who's 21 years old. Her props. She got it in. Much love. Man, love to that young lady. Man, it's a lot. It's tough to beat somebody. And she didn't just win. She won convincingly. She won 6-2 and 6-4 straight sets. Much love to that young lady. You did your thing. Serena, we ain't mad at you, man. You can't win them all. Even if you're washed, we still down with you. You know what I mean? We down like 4 flat tires. But, like I said, the NCAA football, it was on and popping last week. This week, not so much. But what I want to do is talk about a couple things in regards to football. Oh, you know what? One of the biggest names in college football that just happened to be my favorite school, Burt Reynolds croaked this week. Burt Reynolds was an icon in the 70s with movies like Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper, and Cannonball Run. Tremendously entertaining for a young person like I was at that time. And rest in peace, Burt Reynolds. Man, mad love to you, man. You had the coolest car on TV until the Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider came on. And of course, I understand that was a movie, so shut up. But you had the coolest car in pop culture, if people want to correct me. You had the coolest car in pop culture. You was dating a hot chick. You was white Beyonce and Jay-Z when you and Lonnie Anderson was down. Longest Yards. And I really wasn't digging that one. For the newer crowd, yes. For the newer crowd, he was the old man in the Longest Yards. But I was thinking that you meant the original. He was the player coach. Exactly. Yeah, he was the one who was 3-4 days older than baseball. And now he croaked. But rest in peace, Burt Reynolds, man. You were super cool. You and Don DeLuise entertained the hell out of us, man. But I want to talk about college football in a sense of, the reason I want to talk about it is this. Yesterday, I listened to another podcast. It wasn't as dope as mine. But I'm lying. It was dope, but I ain't getting no props. I ain't telling y'all, man. I'm lying. It was called The Red Pill by Van, who's on TMZ. For those who don't know who Van on TMZ, Van is the one black dude that stood up when Kanye was spewing out all that madness, and Van checked him. He checked him and told Kanye, get your punk ass out of here. Now, with that being said, he had Jason Whitlock on his show. And I know I told y'all I wasn't gonna badmouth any more brothers on the show, but I'm not gonna badmouth Jason Whitlock. But what I am gonna do is address something he said. He said one of the he's been hypercritical of Kaepernick, and he said the reason he's hypercritical of Kaepernick is because, and let me know what y'all think about this. He said he was hypercritical of Kaepernick because he loves football. Believe it or not, man, even though I'll never be a fan of Jason Whitlock. And I'm not going to lie and say he's never said anything that I agree with, because that would be just as stupid as him saying some of the stuff that he says. But he said he's a gigantic fan of, drum roll please, Malcolm X, and he has read the Malcolm X book several times. I think he read the Cliff Notes, but that's another conversation for another time. But he said that he thinks the people who are out to get professional football are using Cap as a pawn. Now, Van ate him up on those points, and I actually reached out to Jason Whitlock on Twitter, and he responded to me. We had a back and forth. That's the beautiful thing about Twitter. Van Latham is his name. Van Latham, the Red Pill, dope podcast, super dope podcast. But Whitlock, in his mind, he isn't speaking against Kaepernick. He is speaking against the establishment that is using Kaepernick to destroy professional football. No, to destroy football. Because according to him, toxic masculinity is under attack. Now, with that being said, I do believe that toxic masculinity is under attack. But I don't think that the people who are after football are after toxic masculinity. I'll double back and say that. The only problem I had with what he said with that was this: outside of totally disagreeing 10,050%. The problem I had with that is what Jason Whitlock said. Football has done a lot for me. And professional football, when professional football was created years and years and decades ago, they didn't have it in mind that it would empower so many people from our community. Again, agree. This is when Jason Whitlock forced me to stop thinking he was a sucker. And sad to say, I think he kind of 30% retired of saying this. But I stopped thinking he was a sucker because I think he's thrown off. He says, and he's angry because professional football has done so much for so many people in our community. Now, hopefully he meant football in itself. Hopefully he meant that. Because, you know what? I don't give it, I agree. Football does do a lot. But I would say professional football doesn't do a lot. Football in itself, because contrary to popular belief, most football players go on to graduate. They go on to graduate. And if you go on to graduate, for free, you're empowering yourself. And if you're empowering yourself and you're doing things properly, you can come back and do things for your community. So with that, I agree with him, and I hope he meant not professional football in general. But if you're attacking Kaepernick and you're saying people trying to destroy the NFL, then I totally disagree with you. The reason I brought this up is I don't give a damn if football or professional football is destroyed. Now, I understand a lot of people on the show, and I'm going to be talking about football in about half hour. I understand professional football is a thing that people use as an outlet. and they really enjoy it. But if they shut down